I thought this transfer window was going to be pretty quiet. And then we lost him. Welcome back to the Sir Alex Ferguson Aberdeen Challenge here on Super Sammy Plays. We've got a massive episode coming up, starting off with the League Cup final against Rangers as we look to go back to back. We then head into Europe with big ties against Bayern Munich and Bayer Leverkusen, and then the January transfer window opens. There's already interest building in some of our players, so this squad could look very different by the end of the window. So let's get into it. And talking of which, this is the main concern as the Saudis are stepping up their chase for Amaro, so we'll have to see if we can do anything about that and keep a hold of him because he's been pretty good for us so far for a very cheap fee. But before we get into all the transfers and stuff, we have got a small matter of a League Cup final here at Hampden Park as we look to go back-to-back winners of the Scottish League Cup. Last year we beat Celtic in the final, and this year we've got the other big rivals in Rangers as they look to go 1-0 up early on, hitting the post inside the opening 8 minutes. But thankfully, we get away with one there. They do go close again, though, as in the 36th minute, they get a free kick and cross to the back post. The header comes off the bar again, so they've hit the woodwork inside the opening 45 minutes twice now. And thankfully, though, we're going at half-time 0-0, and hopefully we can play better in the second half. Rangers start the half on the attack, though, but this time we're looking a little bit sharper as Amaro intercepts it. And we look to counter-attack with Cullen out on the left wing. He crosses it to the far post and Gabby Carvalho gets it on his right foot. And the little half volley finishes into the bottom corner to put us 1 goal in front. And maybe this is our day after all. But maybe I spoke too soon. As 63 minutes in, a corner gets cleared as far as Asgard. And his shot caused a little bit of chaos. And Rangers get back level with a close range finish. Finish. He's no finish, he's 26. If you know who I'm talking about, let me know in the comments. As in the 77th minute, we go looking for a second with Keskinen, who cuts back onto his right foot, laying it back to the edge of the box. And Redondo finally starting to show a bit of quality now, scoring a few goals this season as he bangs in another one from the edge. Then 80th minute, Cullen, free kick out on the left-hand side, crosses it into the middle, gets cleared to Renato Tomato Sanchez, and his shot goes in the bottom corner, but you will see the man in black running over to pee on our bonfire and disallow another Renato Sanchez goal. Honestly, I'm starting to think the referees are a little bit, I don't want to say it, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We do score a third, making it 3-1 inside the 84th. The referee does run over to this one, but obviously Redondo is, I don't want to say it, but yeah, we'll just leave it there. As we win the trophy, making it back-to-back wins at Hampden Park, and this time I've remembered to show the whole celebration so you can enjoy the full trophy lift. I'm not entirely sure who's even my captain, to be honest. Is it probably Keskinen? Is he going to be the one lifting this? As all those fans in blue behind get to watch us lift the trophy. We make it back-to-back League Cup champions. Manager please is bored in League Cup win. I should bloody hope so. Keskinen on form as well, as we're very much used to seeing. And yeah, good to see us winning another tournament. It looks like we're going to need the money from these tournaments as our youth intake this year is looking, it doesn't really get much worse than that, does it? Next up, we've got a few quick games to just fire through before we get to all the fun, juicy transfer stuff. As we go 1-0 up against Killy inside the opening 14 minutes. Pretty comfortable win this one, as in the 82nd minute, we round off the scoring. Keskinen pulling it into the middle and Lazatic firing home to make it 4-0. Which is how the game finished. Our next victims were St Mirren. Much closer game this one though, not quite as exciting as the last one, with our right back scoring the only goal of the game, putting us 1-0 up inside the opening 14 minutes, and that is how the game finished. And then the final one of these quickfire games, we play Falkirk, with our opening the scoring inside the opening 11 minutes before 2 minutes later, banging a free kick in the top corner, making it 2-0. Then the final goal of the game coming in the 59th minute as Fulker pull one back, but at this point we'd already scored another goal and we go on to win the game 3-1. So the first outgoing of the window is going to be Alexander Jensen. He's been pretty solid for us as a backup fullback. And yeah, I think didn't he get in the team of the season in the Conference League or something last season, which was proper random, but still, he's going to be going to Hibs for 1.2 million, so a decent fee for us. And we look to bring in some more reinforcements as this man became available. Marcos Leonardo signed to one of the Saudi clubs for quite a decent fee a few years ago, and he became available on a free transfer. So we are certainly going to make an offer for him and hopefully improve our front line. With both our strikers being a little bit inconsistent this season, either one of them seems to be doing all right while the other one isn't. So be good to improve and hopefully bring in a top quality striker. And you know, it was only a matter of time before I made another boo-boo, and it looks like I forgot to press record while I was playing some of these games, and we actually miss 4 games from the season, so I don't have footage of them, which, I mean, just help shift the story along a little bit quicker towards those transfers. But you will see, we played 4 games, one against Rangers, Dundee United, Livingston and Hibs, all in the league. We do go unbeaten in all 4, which is good to see. But yeah, I don't have footage of them, but this is how they finished. Drawing with Rangers 2-2, couple of goals, one from Awa and one from Lazetic. I was from the penalty spot. And then on to the Dundee United game where we drew 1-1. Another goal from Lazetic with a 91st minute equaliser. So maybe he's heard the news of us trying to sign Leonardo as he scores again as we beat Livingston 2-0. Finley Marshall getting on the score sheet as well, the youngster. And then we beat Hibs 2-0 with goals from our 2 centre mids, Redondo and Awa. And this is where things get a little bit sad, as part of the footage that I forgot to record was the Saudis coming in for our man Amaro, who you might remember Juventus were after him and we signed him last season for 1.1 million, which was an absolute steal, and he's been getting better for us. He's been much better this season than he was last. And I forgot to try and go back and offer him a new contract after. I mean, I could have used the Jensen money, to be honest, to get him, as I couldn't offer the wages the last time I looked, and he still had a release clause of 6.2 million. And unfortunately, the Saudis have met that release clause, as Al hasn't. They've came in, triggered that, and obviously he's now on 68 to 87,000 pound a week, which is miles more than we could offer him. So if you want to make me feel a little bit better, drop a like on the video, because it's a sad day for us. It does, however, bring us 6 million in, which, as you'll know, is more than we've had for the last 2 seasons in transfer fees. So we could be bringing some more new players in. But before we get crazy with the transfers, we do play Cali. Well, I think it's Cali Braves. I don't know. Cali Braves in the Scottish Cup. A game, obviously, you would have expected us to win. We made quite a few changes to this one. You can see the lineup. There's only real notable players you'll know are No Start, Milne. Mitchell Frame, obviously, he's played a few times for us, the youngster. Balalovic, not played so much this season, but was one of the first team players the first couple of seasons. Lewis Kumas coming in up top, the youngster that we signed from Liverpool. And Ayrton Moises, who has been throwing his toys out the pram after we kind of stopped playing him, after he basically stopped scoring for us. We got a little bit excited right at the end of the game, scoring to make it 3-1 in the 91st minute before adding another one in the 94th to make it 4-1 and probably make it look a little bit more comfortable than it actually was. And this is going to be the first signing that we're actually going to make with some of the money. Lubo Pujic from Bayern's second team. And yeah, we got this guy, I think, pretty cheap because of his transfer was expiring anyway, but I thought he looked like a decent player. And yeah, you can see we're signing him for like 150k or something, so we'll try and get that done later on in the episode. And speaking of Bayern, and they will appear as we play them away at the Allianz in the Champions League. I mean, if we could actually get anything against them, it would be an absolutely insane result. And they start off with the man of the moment who's just been unbelievable in real life this season, Michael Elise, shooting over from range. Before, in the 29th minute, I'm not sure why our left back was Mitchell Frame in this one. I can't quite remember. maybe Brandon Williams was injured. As Elise pulls the cross, first time on his right foot, into the middle with Musiala, but thankfully the goal was ruled offside, and we live to fight another day, or maybe another minute, because yeah, we don't hold on to this point at all. As 57 minutes in, Bischoff fires into the bottom corner, making it 1-0 before 4 minutes later in the 61st, Lennart Carl shooting from range, pulling a big save out of Charles. And then in the 85th, Munoz, I'm not sure who he is, down the left, lays it off to Bischoff, who's passed straight to Carl. He shoots, he scores, and we do lose the game 2-0, which, I mean, let's be honest, it's kind of expected, but yeah, there was a bigger problem from that game, and it was the fact that our goalkeeper, Charles, got injured. And as you can see, this is quite the serious one, as he has a badly fractured lower arm, and he's going to be out for 3 months as we send him to a specialist. Not entirely sure why he never got substituted and played out the full match, which probably didn't help the situation, but here we are. But to brighten our day a little bit, Marcos Leonardo does in fact sign on a free transfer, and you can see from the board and fan reaction and his ability that he's certainly should be a good player for us going forward, and hopefully he can improve our front line. Some really nice stats there. Nothing like drastically good apart from off the ball, but yeah, certainly a good signing, and yeah, we'll see how we get on. We do then play Hearts, and things do not particularly go great for us in this game. Lazatic firing just wide inside the opening 13 minutes, and that 13 should probably have been a sign for how this game actually went. As literally 20 seconds later, shot comes in, comes to Lawrence Shankland, and he fires into the back of the net to make it 1-0 inside the opening 14 minutes. Hopefully he can do that again on Saturday, because, nice for somebody else to win the league, wouldn't it? And then in the 40th minute, we do actually pull it back level. Goalkeeper comes out, flaps at it, and Lazatic does get his head onto it to make it 1-1 before Kaiseridis goes down the left and finds Shankland again, and he makes it 2-1, putting Hart back in front before they finally add a third in the 75th. We did get a red card in this one, but unfortunately, I typically, just like in the last episode, I was making substitutions, so I didn't actually have the actual challenge of it happening, so I kind of didn't think it was worth leaving it in. But this would have been nice, as Leonardo gets a chance in his first game for us, one-on-one with the keeper in the 92nd minute. And Summer, I mean, it literally said, how did he miss that? So that is not what you want to be seeing from your new signing, who you're kind of expecting big things from. Next up, we play by Leverkusen in the Champions League, and you might remember I was saying in the last game how we'd only really won, one match or something in the Champions League, and we were desperate for points. So we were needing a big result here after obviously losing to Bayern Munich earlier on in the episode. And it doesn't start off great, as we give them a penalty inside the opening 4 minutes, which they convert with Palacios banging it in the back of the net. Before literally 3 minutes later, we actually get a penalty ourselves. Cross comes in from the corner, and I'm not entirely sure what happened. Looks to be a push or something. But Cullen does step up and place it in the bottom right-hand corner, making the game 1-1 again. In the 22nd minute, though, we do go 2-1 up as Awa spreads the ball out wide to Brandon Williams, who cuts in on his right foot just inside the opposition half. Finds Caballero, and his first touch is sublime as he shoots, hits the post, and fires into the back of the net, making it 2-1. And there wasn't really another chance until the 94th minute, as a poor goal kick is headed straight back to Onyeka, and he finds Mensah, cuts back on his right foot, pulls it back to Alex Garcia, and he probably should do better. But thankfully, we do go on to win the game 2-1 and get 3 very valuable points in Europe. So this is where things start getting a little bit crazy, as we do confirm the signing of Lubo Pulic. And 165k. Like I say, he was going to be out on a free transfer in the summer anyway, but I just wanted to make that happen. After we'd obviously changed formation and gone to a back 5 with the 3 centre-backs, we needed some additional players in that centre-back position, so he comes in, and we have been given 4.27 million for achieving 19th place in the Champions League phase, which obviously tells you that we will be going through to the knockout rounds, and that is great to see. After I said previously, we're in desperate need of finances, so to see us with 25 million in the bank is great to see, because I'm pretty sure all the additional prize money we're getting is pretty much just going on wages, which is not allowing us to spend big in terms of transfer fees. Signed another youngster in Andrea Prenkpalaj, 18-year-old midfielder from Croatia, coming from Dynamo Zagreb. Fairly cheap, this one. I think it was like 2.5 million or something, and certainly one that we'll be looking at for the future. We did actually play another game here against St Johnstone, but I thought I wouldn't bore you with it, as it was a 0-0 draw. And not really an exciting game. And let's be honest, we're all here to see the transfers, aren't we? And after that Charles injury, I did go out and sign another goalkeeper in Radek Vitek from Man United. 650k cost us. Obviously, we needed someone a little bit better than Bratvit to come in and do a job, with Charles going to be out for the next 3 months or so. So, yeah. He certainly looks pretty good, and I'm very happy to have got him for 650k. I think that is a very good signing. And hold your phone, ladies and gentlemen. The board would like to hold a meeting to discuss increasing the available wage budget. It's almost like they got a massive influx of cash from a player going somewhere that they didn't initially give me all the money for. So, as soon as I saw that, I went and signed this man that I was looking at getting in the summer. And I kind of put it off because we'd already signed Carvalho out on the right-hand side, and obviously Keskinen's been really good for us. But I thought, you know what? He could be a real improvement for the depth that we've got. And, I mean, he still should certainly be able to do a job, especially in this league, and maybe even so in Europe. So we do go through and make a contract offer, and it was surprisingly a lot less money than I was expecting, only wanting 15k per week, which is, yeah, I would have expected him to want a lot more money than that. I would imagine he's on a lot more Aston Villa in real life. I'm not saying he should be, because he's absolutely useless, but I digress. So we'll see if we can get that one over the line. And then we get the Champions League draw. This is where you want either a really easy opposition so you can get through to the next round, or you want like a massive team. You know, welcoming Real Madrid to Pittodrie would be unreal. And instead, we get the one other Scottish team still in the competition. Like, I mean, it's just not what you want to see, is it? We play them 6 times a season as it is. Never mind playing them another 2 times in the knockout stages. But here we are. We'll see how we get on. Hopefully, we can register some of these signings and maybe go past them and get further into the competition, and then maybe welcome one of those big teams later on in the next round. Now, this one is a little bit of I mean, I kind of got a little bit excited with all the extra money that we'd had after basically 3 years of not having any. And I saw Inter Milan had made a bid for this guy, which, I mean, looking at some of those stats, some of those look pretty good. So, having seen that they'd made an offer for him, I went in completely blind and thought, well, if he's good enough for Inter Milan, he's certainly going to be good enough for us. So, I went through and made an offer, and maybe Inter Milan's interest weren't actually legitimate, as he ends up signing for us. So, I mean, Frank Palage comes through and signs as well. So, yeah, I mean, it could be a real coup for us, as some of his stats genuinely look really good. I mean, he's got great physicals for a 19-year-old, of but some of his stats are looking pretty good. Obviously, really high potential. So, I mean, yeah, I guess we'll find out and see if he's worth it. But, I mean, only $1.5 million. Realistically, I don't see how we lose money on that, even if he doesn't turn out as good as we hope. We do also sign Andrea Prenkpalage, total fee of 3.5 million with the add-ons and whatnot. But yeah, he needs to work on those technicals, but only 18 years old. Great determination and a perfectionist personality. He certainly could be one for the future, and he could potentially become a really good player. So watch this space, and we'll see how he progresses over the next few seasons. We then get called into the boardroom for another meeting. They are going to increase the transfer budget from 1.1 million to 6.3. So, I mean, I guess some of that is from the additional prize money that we've won from going a little bit further in Europe. Yeah, hopefully that helps us bring in a couple more players. We do then get the confirmation message that Leon Bailey is signing for us. So, yeah, 3.5-star current ability. He certainly should be a help to this team. And hopefully when Eskinen and Carvalho aren't having an off day, he can certainly step up and do the business. Now, you might remember I've tried to sign this guy for the last 2 years on loan and on transfers, and we finally do make it happen, getting him on loan from Manchester City. If you're starting a save where you're able to spend 5 or 6 million, get this guy in right at the start of your save because he can be a really, really good player. And I signed him for Frankfurt on another save and sold him, I think, for about 30, 40 million. And that was with a release clause that I didn't actually want to sell him. So, yeah, instant profit, 5 or 6 million, keep him for a year or two, and you will make money as long as you play this guy. And with that Cups loan signing, it does bring a pretty hectic transfer window to the end. There was, like I say, was planning on it being fairly quiet, and then obviously the Amaro deal comes in, and we just end up going a little bit crazy. As that's the first time we've really had any money to spend. So, yeah, we signed Vitek. We did get Ferland Mendy in on a trial to see if he was any good, but he's a rat, and I decided not to sign him, so we didn't actually go with that. We did bring in Jimenez for 1.3, Frank Pelage for 2.5 million, Bailey on a free, and Christopher Cupps on loan. And obviously we signed Lubal Puljic for 165k and Marcos Leonardo on a free transfer. Outgoings, not really too much happening here. Most of these are just loan signings, but we did get 1.2 million for Alexander Jensen, and obviously the big one, 6.25 million for this man, Mauricio Amaro. And yeah, still pretty sad about it, to be honest, not going to lie. But let's see how we get on in the next episode, as all these players have got to try and gel somehow. So we'll see what happens there. So, a bit of a hectic end to the transfer window. We brought in 7 new players in total, and 5 of those coming in the last few days. We've also drawn Celtic in the Champions League, which is a bit of a boring one, I can't lie, but if we can get past them, we might end up drawing a really high-rep team, which would be great to see those come into Pataudry. But that's going to do it for today's episode of the Sir Alex Ferguson Aberdeen Challenge. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favour, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you guys in the next one.